Some of you may have seen this before, either in your buildings or on Google Slides presentations, and you may not know what it is, but this is a QR code. It's basically a barcode. QR stands for Quick Response Code, and these aren't just for retail. These can be used within your classroom to help students access materials. And I'll show you how to make one and show you an example of how you might use it, and then give you some more examples. So if you want to make a QR code, it is pretty simple. You're going to go to your Chrome Web Store. You can get there by typing in Google Web Store in the address bar. It'll be your first result, or you can click on Apps to get to the web store. And when you get to the web store, you're going to type in goo.gl, and you'll have this. I already have it installed. If you don't, you would click the blue Add to Chrome button, and you'll see that it appears up here next to your address bar. So what a QR code does is it is like an active link that students can use if they have a QR reader on their phones, which some students do. And if you're teaching at the secondary levels, you know that most students do have phones with them. You could recommend that they just download an app from their app store on their phone. I recommend ScanBot, but there's other QR reader apps that they can get. And anytime they have their phone on them, they can scan the QR code. So let me just show you how to make one real quick. Now let's say that I've assigned students this math homework, and maybe they might need extra help doing it, or they might have forgotten how to use the Pythagorean theorem. Here's this little video that I found on YouTube. It just shows this theorem in about 2 minutes, so not too long for students to view. What I'm going to do is go to my extension that I just installed. And what it does, one, it gives me a shortened link, but also there's an option for a QR code. So what I'm doing is I'm making a code that will take students right to this YouTube video. Once I have the code, I have a couple options. I can save it to my computer for later use, or I can just copy the image. So I'm going to copy the image. I'm going to go to the math homework, and I'm going to paste this QR code. I can make it smaller. And what students can do is, if they're having trouble with this problem, they can scan this link and it'll take them to a quick tutorial where they can watch how to use the theorem and then therefore solve their problem. Now there's other ways for students to use QR codes and ways you can utilize QR codes in your classroom. You could make learning stations and put codes at the different areas in the room, and these codes would take students to either different online activities, videos, or content. You could, on a project sheet, include a QR code that would take students to an exemplary past project that a student had done so that they can see what the project is supposed to look like, or give them an idea of what they might do. You could provide optional activities on worksheets or homework for students who are trying to excel, putting a code on that class activity and allow students to follow it to an extension activity or question. You could add it to an assignment or a review quiz, and students would be allowed to check their answers. So you could link it to kind of an answer key. You could also link to any online resource. So you can see there's a lot of different ways you can use QR codes in the classroom, and all the student would have to have would be a QR reader on their phone. And again, recommending ScanBot. Hope this is helpful, and if you have any questions, send me an email.